AFT2121 President Tim Kelly.
Woo! Thank you, Jessica. All right. Thank you so much. I'm hearing that the only people inside are administrators. And that's the way we'd like it to remain. So, I want to talk to you about a few things. I want to talk to you about what impasse is and what it means, just a little bit. What it means is that we are getting nowhere, and that we have decided that we need help to get somewhere. And we're letting the district know this, and the district has continued to make proposals that seem designed to get us nowhere, to keep us nowhere. And it's not just nowhere for the faculty, it's nowhere for the staff. And there's a lot of folks out there from SEIU. I want to give them a shout out today. Our brothers and sisters in SEIU are standing with us. And the students are standing with us. And the reason is because when they've come to the table, they've told us that there's going to be a 26% cut in classes over the next 6 years. That's a denial of educational opportunity for thousands and thousands of San Franciscans who, a lot of them, don't have any other choice except to go to City College. It's outrageous. But I want to tell you, we have a different vision for what the school is supposed to be. The vision is one where when people come to City College, they're going to be able to get the classes they need so that they can move forward with their lives. That's the vision we have. That's right. The vision we have is that the faculty who live in one of the most expensive areas in the United States and actually in the world are able to afford to live here. And that is an incredible thing that they are not recognizing. They act like we're living in Tennessee or something. It's outrageous. We live in San Francisco. The prices are outrageous. We all know this. And we need a contract that is going to help faculty live here in San Francisco. How are we going to, in the future focused, how are you going to get people to move to San Francisco who have high quality teachers if you don't pay them enough money to work here? That's not future focused. So we are starting a campaign that's starting now, a new variation of the same campaign. It's the No More Business as Usual campaign. So today is the first day of that. The first day of that. The next time in our continuing No More Business as Usual campaign will be on the 28th of January, when we're going to be going to the Board of Trustees. They now have authority, they are in charge, and they need to make sure that the changes that need to occur happen, and we need to hold them accountable. So like I said to people inside before, nobody's in there now, but we want everybody to be at the Board of Trustee meeting. We want everybody to be there. Community, students, faculty, staff. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Sheila Tully is the president of the California Faculty Association at San Francisco State.
I'm a part-time temporary lecturer at San Francisco State. I've been teaching there since 1996. That puts a whole new meaning to part-time temporary. We are also in a contract fight. We stand with you. We know that you have been with us on our picket lines. We are preparing for a strike this spring. And wouldn't it be cool to have both faculty unions going out at the same time? We are asking for a 5% salary increase. The Chancellor is asking for 2% and hasn't moved. We think that we should be chopping from the top at San Francisco State, in the CSU, and at City College. So how about this? Instead of 26% cut to classes, let's cut the salaries of administrators by 26%. This is the corporatization of higher education. This is the 1% grabbing all they can at the expense of the 99%. We are, and we teach those 99%, and we are fighting for the future of the master plan and public higher education. I say let's go for it. Thank you.
Next up, we have Edgar Torres. He's the chair of our CCSF Diversity Studies and Latin American Studies.
Much. You're probably going to hear that from spring to spring, our enrollments are up by 3%. You know, they've been going up and down. Right? But what you need to know is that over the last 2.5 years, we've lost 30% of our population, and I'm going to say to you that the 30% represent basically at-risk populations. They represent students of color. They represent those students that come out of our high schools who do not believe in themselves, who do not believe in themselves, and it's, you know, one of our jobs here as community college instructors is really to give them a new way of looking at different types of challenges. And so I'm saying to you that although we've lost 30%, if you look at our departments, we've lost 50% of our students. And if you look at, in particular this semester, I'm saying to you that right now they're threatening half of labor and community study programs. Well, I'm saying to you that African American studies is in danger as well. We are too. Latin American Latino studies, which used to be a vibrant department. But I want to give you a little different story. For 2.5 years, I've been asked to move my sections from Mission Center to Ocean because of productivity. They want higher numbers. They know that if I teach a class here, it's going to draw twice as many students as it'll do it at Mission. My own faculty come up to me and say, Edgar, you got to protect yourself. All right, and yet I've resisted that, and I've resisted it for this reason. Mission Center happens to have the highest number of ESL classes across the institution. And when I think about the transition of non-credit to credit, that's the battleground. That is the battleground. And yet, we don't have a complete array of credit classes there for students. When I talk to my Ocean students and say, why don't you take classes at Mission? They said, because there's only 2 English classes over there. You know, my schedule doesn't allow me to fit in to their schedule. There's not, you know, enough math classes, enough, you know, and so little by little, we've been eroding the credit classes out of Mission Center, and little by little, that's becoming a roadblock for those ESL non-credit students to transition, you know, and over, and that's what we're about. You know, so it really, that pains me. I cannot tell you that I'm not going to move my classes out. Anyway, thank you.
I'd like to welcome Emily Lee from the Chinese Progressive Association.
Whose city?
Our city.
Whose college?
Our college.
Whose city?
Our city.
Whose college?
Our college.
That's right. And folks have already said it, but an injustice against teachers and faculty at City College is an injustice against the students and the communities that rely on City College. You know, and I don't know about folks, you said earlier, teachers don't like to fight. Some of the hardest fighters I've seen in the past few years have been teachers, all right? So are y'all ready to fight?
Yes.
All right. So I want to give a little bit of background about who Chinese Progressive Association is. We're a community organization, and we're organizing working class Chinese immigrant communities across San Francisco who you all know depend more than ever on City College and the type of opportunities it gives. Who here teaches a class to immigrant students? Raise your hand. All right, it's everybody. Who here teaches to students of color? Who here teaches to working class students? That's right, who are sometimes working 1 job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs just to be able to come to class and have an opportunity for their families. And we know in San Francisco, those opportunities are shrinking. And City College represents one of the few places where people can still get a quality education, job opportunities, and really a fighting chance for their families. You know, in 2012, the community CPA, we stood with you all to fight for Prop A. We did phone banks to Chinese voters across the city, talking about why City College is so important. We did hundreds of surveys of students in 2013 because we wanted to understand what happens to City College students if the Education Master Plan does not address the needs of both credit and non-credit students, the needs of working, older adults, of immigrant students, and we saw the results were clear. Those hundreds of students said without a doubt we needed to invest more in City College, more in the classes, more in the teachers, and what have we seen the administration do is actually the opposite. And I think it's a sign of the times that we're seeing where, Sheila said it already, it's the 1% fighting down the 99%, and when the administration is going to spend tens of thousands of dollars on consultants, instead of increasing faculty pay and therefore student quality education, that's just plain wrong, and that's obvious, right? And when we see San Francisco as a city investing millions of dollars in a Super Bowl for tourists, that what benefit is it going to have for our city? We know the city's going in a wrong direction, and we need to turn it around, and we need to see our mayor, we need to see our elected officials standing up for City College, because this fight is not just about this campus. It's not just about this contract. It's a fight for our city. Is that right? All right. So I just want to say, the community's with you. We're behind you 100%, and we need to see you fighting for us, just like we're going to fight for you.
The next inspiring speaker we have is Labor and Community Studies Chair, Bill Shields.
So our brother Patrick Toynbee says this is the first time in 12 years that he has not had to shut the theater down because it was overflowing. Patrick says there's plenty of seats in there if you're interested. Pretty good job so far. It's an occupational hazard to invite teachers to keep it to 3 minutes, but we're doing pretty well. I'm going to end in just 2 minutes and ask you to join me. I'm going to ask you to say solidarity forever with me 3 times. For the union makes us strong, and then se puede, si se puede 3 times. The union asked me to say a word about the bigger, broader context in terms of labor relations. And we thought this was important because we are teachers. We're often alone in our classrooms. We're not with our fellow teachers. It's unusual for us to be together like this, and we can feel lonely. We can feel lonely when Nanette Asimov writes another hit piece in the San Francisco Chronicle. But I want to say that we're not alone in facing a daunting challenge of employer attack, nor are we alone in resisting those attacks. A few years ago, the butchers in Walmart unionized, and Walmart shut down every butcher operation in all their stores to avoid giving union rights to some of their workers. Years ago, when I lived in Puerto Rico, where I got going with my study of Spanish, they unionized the McDonald's. McDonald's shut down every McDonald's in Puerto Rico instead of letting them enjoy union rights. A few years ago, down the coast, when the strawberry pickers unionized in Watsonville, the growers dug up and pushed the strawberries down into the ground rather than actually sell them and give union rights to their employees. Walmart has a 40% turnover and a huge employee theft problem. McDonald's has 100% turnover every year. That's what happens when you mistreat your employees. What you get at City College is dedicated, hardworking teachers and staff, and we need to be treated with respect, so we'll stay. And our students will come back and teach when we retire, right? We're not alone either in the attacks on public education. We know the game plan. In Chicago, in New York City, here, take power away from the elected board. Impose a corporate-style top-down administration. Attack the unions. Attack the communities that we serve. But in Chicago, the union reached out and built deep solidarity with the communities, particularly the Latino and the African-American community. And they fought back and they won much that they would not have won. In LA, where there's many charter schools, our union is now unionizing the charter schools, right? And here at City College, we know that we've been receiving support from all over the state. As people have said, if they can take you down, they can take us all down. So we're turning the corner. We have people marching shoulder to shoulder with us in the private sector unions, in the public sector unions, in the public education unions, in the workers' centers like the Chinese Progressive Association. We are not alone. If we have to go on strike, maybe we'll be out at the same time, as Sheila said, as San Francisco State. We're about to hear from a brother from a private college here who are also unionizing. So remember, when you feel lonely, you're not alone. And the best way to remember that is by quoting the labor hymn, almost, the labor anthem, Solidarity Forever, where we say together, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. Se puede, si se puede, se puede. Si se puede.
Next, we have a really amazing student leader out of the Evans campus, Joe Drake Jr.
What do we want? Fair contract. When do we want it? Now. All right, as a student and a son of a mother who went to this school, born and raised, actually I started in Ocean campus, so Ocean is like really my home more than anything. My mother went here when I was about 14 to 15. She graduated in a year and a half with 4 kids. Doing criminal law and psychology. Now, she doesn't even use the accolades right now. She actually drives the bus, but every time I heard that, like a year and a half, and I finally got here at City College, I never understood how she did it. And she told me she got professors who probably, some of you guys are here today, who probably signed off on her books to do 24 units in 1 semester. And she was so driven. So, I want to thank you first, teachers. Thank you, teachers. You guys really deserve a tremendous hand applaud, a day at the spa every year. I mean, seriously, because I do social work for young teens and who do substance abuse, and I also work with adults who go through substance abuse and trauma recovery. So it's a lot just to be with somebody side by side and to teach somebody like myself who dropped out of school at 17 and had City College gave me a new ego. It's given me a new way to learn. And so basically the fight is for you, and that's where I come in part at. I've been a part of the 99% rally. I've been a part of the police brutality, actions that's been going on. And with the same things that's been going on around in the city, with them not giving our teachers pay, what are they giving our streets results to? Not learning. And our streets need to learn. There are youth who I talk to every day, in and out throughout the days I go home, and every time they see me, their only hope is City College. Because they know I go there. And they know if Joe goes there, he's the guy that come from such and such and made it out of such and such a background, they know there's nothing but opportunity here. So we have to fight at all extents. I might even become a teacher here one day, because right now I'm working on getting inside the San Francisco School District. Is working as a paraprofessional. So right now we just need to fight, and I'm all aboard of the fight, and let's get it going, you guys. What do we want? Fair contract. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Fair contract. When do we want it? Now.
We have Eduardo Pineda. He's a faculty member at California College of the Arts.
Thank you all. As has been said, we just formed on a union under SEIU 1021, and that's because, like you, we need just wages for the hard work we do teaching our students, and they're future artists. And I gotta say, coming here, I have to mention the mural just inside the theater. I've come here over the years. Every time I've always looked at it differently. Today I'm looking at it and I'm seeing all of this vision of society that Rivera had. He saw it as a culmination of the past knowledge and the present knowledge. And all the people that he represents in that mural, they're artists, craftspeople, industry workers, leaders, scientists, all of them had to learn from a teacher. And that's really what I'm reminded of today, is that we're in a large struggle. We came together at CCA because, like you, we needed to be fairly compensated and recognized for our dedication and commitment to the education of our students. We're inspired by your perseverance to getting a just contract as we negotiate our first. Like you, we know what it is to have an administration that sees priorities differently and that doesn't value its professors. It costs a lot to live in the Bay Area, and we should be able to live near our schools and near our students. So I bring today the commitment of CCA adjuncts to your struggle in the same way that you brought it to us last year. We're part of this larger national struggle, so we stand with all of you as well. Thank you.
Our next speaker is president of our San Francisco Pre-K through 12 Union, UESF, Lita Blanc.
I'm always honored to follow the youth. That was a great speech to follow. The teachers and paraprofessionals of United Educators of San Francisco stand with you strong today in your fight for a fair contract. Your fight is our fight for so many reasons. First of all, your students are my students. For 25 years, I taught mostly at George Moscone Elementary in the Mission, and my kindergarten children, and then the kids who I taught how to read as a literacy teacher, when they went on to college, the large majority came to City College. And without you, they would not be the people they are today. Their parents went to City College. Their brothers and sisters go to City College. We need you, and we are here with you. And we stand with you in your fight, not just for your fair contract, but for a quality public education from pre-K through college. Secondly, and today, as importantly, we stand with you as workers. Here in San Francisco, the most expensive of cities in the United States, every educator deserves a living wage. Our members are faced with the same high cost of living as you are, and it really does, it breaks my heart, but I'm getting angry month by month as I face these issues. We hear from our teachers who are getting evicted, our paraprofessionals who are moving from the city or quitting altogether. We cannot let that happen to you. A year and a half ago, United Educators of San Francisco was in the same position you were. We were faced with intransigent administration, and we were at impasse. We knew there was money in the budget for a decent raise for us, and we knew that it was a matter of political priorities. Knowing that there was money in the budget, over 2,500 members voted overwhelmingly for a strike in August 2014. Teachers and powers were ready and determined to walk the picket line for what we deserved. We turned to the parents of our students, they were on our side. We turned to our political allies in the labor movement and the city, they were on our side. SFUSD got the message. In November 2015, we signed a contract that had a 15% raise over 3 years. Not enough, but a good raise for our paraprofessionals and 12% across the board for our certificated members. So you were with us then, we are with you now, we will be with you on the picket line. We will amplify your message by 6,000 members. Si se puede.
Is an AFT2121 leader and bargaining team member. She's been there in the trenches, slogging through this for almost a year. Mallika.
I was asked to give an update on what's going on in bargaining, and when you talk about the administration side of this, it's actually easier to talk about what's not going on in bargaining. So we came to the table with proposals about load and class cancellations and class size and proposals that would help keep the college open and increase equity for lab instructors, and we get back a big nothing. All of that stuff just gets rejected out of hand with no discussion. We come to the table with a real salary proposal, and they come to us with an insult. Now, look, I'm on the bargaining team, and that means that every Wednesday I go into a room and I talk to a bunch of administrators. And lawyers, yes. But I don't decide what happens at the bargaining table. You do. We all do, together. And we do it Not by going home and reading our emails and forming opinions, and not by going back and teaching our classes and seeing our students in counseling rooms and libraries and pretending it's business as usual. We do it by our actions. So when we show administration our strength and our unity, that is bargaining. You want a bargaining update? Look around you right now. This rally that we are doing right now, this is bargaining. By our act.
Pamela.
What do you think about the 26% cut that they're proposing?
Oh, it's outrageous. But what's so encouraging about today's rally is this is the largest number of faculty I've seen. So we may have enough to strike, which is really encouraging because that's probably what we're going to have to resort to do.
You think you're going to have a strike?
It looks that way. The administration's very recalcitrant, so very entrenched.
My name is Rick Baum, and I teach political science part-time.
And what do you think is happening here? What do you think is the way forward for faculty here at City College of San Francisco?
Well, we have to be organized, not just on City College campus, but we have to be organized with other faculty throughout the state. We ought to start with teachers, and especially other community college teachers. I did hear the president of the CSU, San Francisco State, speaking today, saying that we have to work together and be united. And if we're going to go out on strike, it'd be ideal if we all went on strike at the same time to send a strong message that austerity is unacceptable and it's totally unnecessary. There's lots of money available, and that money should be made available for education. I just reading in the New York Times, I was familiar with this already, that Obama's plans to upgrade and improve our nuclear arsenal is going to cost $1 trillion over the next 30 years. That's $30 billion a year. That's outrageous when there's so many pressing needs in this country. There's people who don't get enough food to eat. There's people who lack health care, and they need an education, and we need better educational opportunities and facilities, and that money should be going for something like that. So it's really calling into question all the priorities of our current system if we really want to get to the bottom of improving conditions here. Specifically at City College, there's things that could be done. The administrators at this school, the average top administrator makes about $20,000 more than the average top administrator in the state. And the full-time faculty here make about $8,000 less than the average, yet we live in a place that has the highest cost of living. So there is money. Some of it could come at the expense of the administration. They should not be getting paid as highly as they do.
Do you think there should be a strike vote, and why hasn't the union taken a strike vote? You've been without a contract for a long, long time.
Well, they have to organize the members, and I am concerned about how well the members have been organized.
This rally, did they give publicity and build this rally?
Well, they might have been doing it behind the scenes. I never saw anything public about it until, say, yesterday. I know they were making phone calls. I didn't receive one of the calls. And I think they could have been reaching out the whole break, and they could have gotten a lot more people from other teaching facilities and other colleges, because a lot of them probably haven't gone back yet, because we need to make this connect up with others. The problems that we face at City College are not unique to City College. They're happening across the country.
Well, the CFT represents over 100,000 faculty. I mean, what are they doing to mobilize statewide against the attack on privatization, on public education, charters, and at City College?
Well, they'll put out information about it, but I don't see that they're organizing rallies, and then they turn around and they endorse Democrats like Kamala Harris. I mean, what is she going to provide us? It's kind of like nationally, the AFT endorsed Hillary Clinton months ago. What are we going to get for endorsing Hillary Clinton? And when I've seen her educational plans, they're nothing that are providing more opportunities. I mean, the one that really sticks with me is that the average former student owes about $30,000 in student loans. The total is something like $1.3 trillion. The AFT is telling us that Hillary Clinton is a champion of the working class, that she's going to be fighting for us. Well, how is she going to help out those who hold student loans? She's offering that if they'll be able to get refinancing, and they may save $2,000 over the payback of the loan. Well, by the time you pay it back, you're talking probably twice that much money when you add in interest. And she's offering $2,000. That's nothing.
tricks don't work on us.
I find your lack of faith in our plans disturbing. I assure you that austerity is the path to the future!